At an early age, Taylor Swift knew she wanted to sing like Faith Hill, Shania Twain, and the Dixie Chicks.
Just this beautiful, shining, glittery thing to me. I'm so excited about the opportunity to possibly walk away with a Grammy. You know, I don't know what that feels like. I've never gotten up there and accepted a Grammy before, and I don't know, someday I'd really like to know what that feels like.
It didn't take long for the driven young lady to make her way to Nashville, where she went on to win 7 Grammy Awards, 11 American Music Awards, 7 Country Association Awards, 6 Academy of Country Music Awards, and 4 Billboard Music Awards. As a songwriter, the Nashville Songwriters Association and the Songwriters Hall of Fame have honored her.
Already 18 and absolutely loving this. This is the best senior year I could have imagined. And, you know, having a blast with it.
Well, for this award, I guess I saw my name on the ballot, but didn't really think that I had a chance at winning. And, you know, I was like, yes, it's good to be a nominee, but I honestly didn't think that I was going to win this award. And I can't believe that I did. I can't believe that the fans did that for me. Everybody on MySpace, they're the reason why I am holding this award right now.
Taylor Swift, America's sweetheart, was born December 13th, 1989, in Reading, Pennsylvania. At 9 years old, Taylor and her family moved to Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. There, she spent her summer vacations at her parents' beachfront home in Stone Harbor, New Jersey.
I'd say they made a pretty big sacrifice. When she was 14, her father up and moved the whole family to Hendersonville, Tennessee. Fortunate for him, he was able to transfer to the Merrill Lynch office in Nashville.
Well, I have family that I spend every Thanksgiving with. They're all on my mom's side, and they're all women, and they're really loud. They're obnoxiously loud, and they all have this genetic cackle. And they stand in the kitchen, and it's the loudest sound. It like breaks noise barriers, and it's like out of a movie. I mean, my cousins have like 49 cats and dogs, and it's really fun to go there and have somewhere I know I'm going to be every Thanksgiving.
At the same time, Swift became interested in singing and often went to New York for vocal lessons. Before long, she had become consumed with country music. To hone her skills, she used all of her free time to perform at all kinds of events, from Boy Scout meetings and sporting events to local festivals and coffee houses.
At the beginning of the year, I'm going to the UK again and doing a tour there. I'm going to Australia, and I'm going to Japan, so I'm really excited about that. And then when I get back, I'm starting my headlining tour in May, and I can't wait.
After watching Faith Hill on Behind the Music, the young artist knew she was destined for Nashville. She just had to figure out a way to be different so she would stand out from the noisy Nashville music crowd. Taylor knew her strength would be writing her own songs.
To me, Taylor Swift is sheer brilliance. You know, she writes feelings from, past life experiences, and I think everybody, but young girls in general, all over the world can relate to that.
I think Taylor's just wise beyond her years. She knew exactly what she wanted, and she had a clear vision of what teenagers wanted to hear musically. She also was super dedicated in trying to capture her own teenage years through her music.
Songwriting for me is how I process how I feel. Sometimes I don't even know how I feel until I write it in a song. And I feel very lucky to have been able to write all the songs that I've ever recorded. And especially with this new album, writing them all, without any co-writers. I am very excited for people to hear it.
One time I gave her an award on one of the shows, and she was one of the two of my children. I got 8, but 2 of them are real Taylor Swift fans, and they're just so excited that I'll be up here working with her. But she's very nice.
I think for me, I just live on the hope that if I keep on writing about my life, and my life is constantly changing, my music will also be changing as well.
At 15, Taylor left RCA Records. She was ready to start recording her album, but her parents wanted her to wait a few years to split from her record label and manager.
Before Swift, the record industry had no idea that there was a huge audience of young girls who loved country music. Country music that talked about teenage problems and life in general, and it's a success.
In 2005, at an industry showcase at Nashville's Bluebird Cafe, Swift caught the attention of Scott Borchetta of Big Machine Records, who signed her to a record deal. Swift immediately got work. She wrote 3 of the album's songs, including 2 singles, and co-wrote the other 8 with various artists. The final product was released in 2006, her self-titled debut album, Taylor Swift.
For me, performing Innocent on the VMAs was a great way to put a lot of it behind me, and I'm very happy about that. I was very grateful that I was given the opportunity to perform a song that nobody had heard before, and really happy with the responses that I got back to the song. That was wonderful.
With the success of her debut album, Swift promoted the LP extensively. In addition to her own material, Swift played covers of songs by Beyoncé, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Eminem, and Rihanna.
Many people have influenced her, including her grandmother, Marjorie Finlay, who was an opera singer. So right there, it shows you a lot about range. You know, people think they're just keyed into one thing, but sometimes it's opera or choir or classical, or it could be a million things, genres that fit into the genre that we know them as. Also, she said on many occasions that Shania Twain, who is, you know, sort of the queen bee, but anyway, Shania Twain was not only as a songwriter, but also as a performer, was her biggest musical influence.
I am performing. It's just wonderful to be here because there are so many people that I respect and I look up to and I admire doing something, coming together to raise awareness for, you know, cancer detection and detecting it early. And there's that, you know, these people that I've looked up to for so long, getting to meet people like Tom Hanks. And then on the other hand, I get to play music. So it's wonderful to be here tonight.
In 2008, Swift released her second studio album, Fearless. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard 200, selling more than 8.6 million copies worldwide. In 2010, Taylor Swift's Speak Now album solidified her as one of the best songwriters in country music. That album sold more than 6 million copies, and the tour was attended by over 1.6 million fans, grossing over $123 million. Despite all of her accomplishments, her most famous moment was the infamous clash between herself and rapper-producer Kanye West.
Kanye said something like Beyonce's video should have won at that time. I kind of felt bad for Taylor. She looked like a deer in headlights. I kind of wish he hadn't gone as far as he did, but what are you gonna do? I thought it was hilarious because I love Kanye. I was just like, at first I was surprised and then I started laughing. I was just like, oh man, but I didn't think it was like, I mean, I can see if it was me accepting it to a award, I probably have been like, but overall I just kind of laughed, just kind of outside looking in type thing.
I'm a huge fan of Beyonce as well. You know, I actually, if it's jumping off topic, you know, in that direction, I favor Beyonce more so, you know, so it's an honest opinion. You know, I think that was out of hand, definitely, because you should be able to respect artists in any genre, especially when you've got Taylor Swift at, what is she, 19, 20, something like that, with, you know, the range of success, you know, that she's covered in a matter of 4 years. You know, it took Beyonce how long to get to that spot? You know, platinum records, millions and millions of copies of every single that she's released. And I think that was definitely just stepping out of hand. And, you know, part of me thinks that, you know, Kanye's side of that was a little bit of jealousy, you know, but either way, it was overstepping a huge line.
At 23, Swift already has a lifetime of achievements. Although she's known for her narrative songs about her personal experiences, she has also proven to be a great actress as well. Now that she's worth over $165 million, what's next for Taylor? Looks like the sky is the limit.
You know, see your hero and get inspiration from all your heroes, but try to be something completely different from your heroes. You know, for me, I think that, you know, writing my own songs was a way to you know, create what I wanted to create and music about my life, and that way it kind of became just a diary put to music every time I put out a new record. And And I guess I would say learn an instrument, because it just makes everything easier. Like if you're going to go play out, like it helps if you've got your own guitar and you can go accompany yourself.
In Faith Hill's 19-year career, she has sold over 40 million records worldwide, had 13 #1 singles, and 20 #1 videos.
Has there ever been a more exciting female artist than Faith Hill? I mean, the hits, this image of beautiful wife, loving mother, Tim McGraw right by her side, the fact that she clawed her way up through the music industry, never let go of her dreams. That's exactly what you want in a country music superstar. She's it. She's all of it. And on top of it, she's one of the most beautiful women in the world. Faith Hill is the first female artist to have not one, not two, but 3 consecutive #1 albums on both the country and the pop charts. Think about that. And she did it at a time when country and pop were just starting to come together. She's one of the ones that kind of blurred the line. Kenny Chesney, Shania Twain, all of them have obviously pretty much just erased the line by this point. But Faith was the one that got pop listeners to say, hey, I like this. She may be country, but I like this a lot.
Hill is the only female artist in history to have 3 consecutive albums debut at #1 on Billboard's pop and country charts.
One of the biggest country stars of the 90s and the 2000s was Faith Hill. She took full advantage of the inroads that Shania Twain had made, crossing over into the pop music side of things. And she actually capitalized with some country songs that actually had crossed over and became pop sensations. So subsequently, she had some very huge tours, and she was one of the biggest stars that the country music scene has seen in a long time.
But this Queen of Nashville did not stop there. The Grammy Awards, the Academy of Country Music, the Country Music Association, the American Music Awards, and the People's Choice Awards have also honored Faith. In 2001, Faith was named one of the 30 most powerful women in America by Ladies' Home Journal. In 2009, Billboard named her the #1 adult contemporary artist of the decade.
I tell you what, there aren't too many artists that would have the confidence to go as commercial as Faith Hill has. I mean, think about it. There hasn't been a magazine cover, I don't think, that she hasn't appeared on. She's been a cover girl for Revlon. She has fragrances. You name it, and she's got her perfectly manicured hands in it.
Audrey Faith Perry, aka Faith Hill, was born on September 21, 1967, in Ridgeland, Mississippi. She began performing at age 7. She had a defining moment at age 9 when she had the fortune of attending an Elvis Presley concert, which inspired her to become a performer. Not long after arriving in Nashville, Faith auditioned to be a backup singer for Reba McEntire. Unfortunately, she didn't get the gig. Instead, she went to work at a music publishing firm as a receptionist.
Well, if you want to be great, you have to immerse yourself in the music and the culture of the city. And it is an electrifying city, and it just draws, it's like a magnet for great singers.
For anybody that's been to Nashville, Tennessee, there is nothing like walking down Broadway, 10 o'clock at night, past one bar after another, each bar filled with people, and on the stage, and the stages are usually right in the corner, right by the front door, there's always a band playing. And the bands in Nashville just seem to have heart. They seem to have just a genuine love for the music they're playing, and a lot of the music they're playing is their own lyrics, their own music, their own works of art. And you feel that in Nashville. I think that's what makes the city so so magical, so special, so legendary when it comes to music. And another great thing I love about walking down Broadway is that the people that you hear from the street are the people that are going to be just a few blocks over at the Ryman Auditorium in 10 years. You know, that's just the way Nashville works. Nashville takes care of its own. Nashville makes dreams come true. It always has, it always will. It's the heart of country music.
Eventually, Faith did land a job with her idol Reba McEntire, but it wasn't to sing. Instead, it was a gig packing fan club merchandise.
No doubt about it. If you want to make it as a country singer, you have to go where all the action is, and that's Nashville.
Music publishing executive Daniel Hill married 20-year-old Faith on July 23, 1988, after dating for more than a year. Even though she was married, Faith still dreamed of a career in country music.
Well, Daniel Hill was a Nashville record executive, and I believe specifically he was in music publishing.
Pretty clear that Danny felt Faith had her doubts. Marriage is difficult for any average couple, you know, but throw into the mix Faith's obviously climbing career and, you know, fill in the blank.
As fate would have it, a coworker heard her singing one day and encouraged her to become a demo singer.
You've got to have singing lessons, you know, train your voice. You know, personally, I don't think it's all about having natural talent. You know, there are millions of people out there with natural talent that can sing, but you got to bring your own flavor to the mix. You know, a new sound, a new look. You know, you can't just copycat your favorite artists. You won't make it.
Hill decided to kick her career up a couple of notches by singing backup to various artists. Faith was eventually discovered by an executive at Warner Brothers. He was so impressed with her strong vocal abilities that he immediately signed her to a record deal. The good news was bittersweet. Just shortly after the greatest achievement in her career, Faith's personal life took a hit as she filed for divorce in 1994.
You know, I got to give her ex-husband credit. You know, he says he's not bitter and he's really proud of her success.
Faith rebounded from her divorce and her music career began to soar. Her first 2 albums each sold over 3 million copies. In 1996, Faith began touring with fellow country singer Tim McGraw. Although Faith was engaged to Scott Hendricks at the time, McGraw and Hill had an immediate attraction to one another and began a steamy love affair.
I think the phrase is there for a reason, you know, opposites attract. Tim's more of the guy, you know, roll out of bed, throw on a t-shirt and jeans and goes about his day in front of thousands and thousands of people. And, you know, Faith is over here. You know, she's a little more outgoing, you know, more of the flashy fireside, you know. So I think that's one of the many reasons, you know, they keep their marriage healthy and get along so well.
Tim McGraw and Faith Hill married on October 6, 1996. Soon after, they started a family and had 3 children. Despite their busy lives, both insist on spending quality time together as a family.
Faith Hill and Tim McGraw have been together since 1996, and they've had to make it work. It's difficult to do that within the music industry. There's many stories of showbiz couples that have gone in separate directions, but they've made it work. And one way they've done it, or at least they've admitted to doing this, is going on date nights to sort of remove themselves from all the glitz and glamour and sometimes the troubles of being under the scrutiny of the showbiz lights. And even Tim McGraw years ago quit drinking so he could focus on the family. And those things, among others, allowed their relationship to get closer and has allowed them to be a formidable duo. They're a strong team, and they're 2 of the biggest country acts the world's ever seen.
You have 4 girls in the house,
I know,
so
that's
you
a
have
lot.
a tough job. No, it's always Valentine's Day with you, baby.
Oh, come on.
Oh gosh, I don't know. We've done pretty simple, to be honest with you. Nothing real extravagant.
Nothing crazy. No, I mean, you know, our best times are just to hang out of the house with the kids, you know, and that's what we try to do is something like, I mean, every now and then we'll go on our date, but our date nights are usually
during the afternoon.
12 o'clock in the afternoon, having lunch on a Tuesday and going to a movie.
Yeah.
One of the best rules they have, in my opinion, is that they have a rule where they are adamant about not being apart from each other for more than 3 days at a time. Now, that's a good rule, because I think, it helps you from straying when you're on the road. You could be all alone, and you could have a lot of fans, adoring fans who love you. And so if you make sure you're together a lot, it helps,
Yeah, we went to see Rod Stewart one year when he came through Nashville, and I remember he was going into his encore, and he was just about to sing Hot Legs. And you pulled me out of the seat, and I was like, what are you doing? I have to see what Rod Stewart sing Hot Legs. And then you blindfolded me and put me into the car, went to the airport, got on a plane.
And we're gone.
And we're gone. And I forgave you once we got to where we're going.
Yeah.
In 1998, Hill released Faith, a pop country hit that sold more than 6 million copies. She immediately followed that up with another CD titled Breathe, which sold 10 million copies and garnered her 3 Grammy Awards.
First of all, I heard that she changes diapers right before she even goes on the stage, which is amazing but she's dedicated to that balance. She's dedicated to making her family situation work while enjoying her career at the same time. And it looks like she has hit her stride and, making it all work.
In 2000, Faith found her career in high gear, being featured in television commercials, performing at award shows, becoming a cover girl, and winning the CMA Female Vocalist of the Year award.
Collectively, they've sold 70 million albums, won 8 Grammy Awards, 14 Country Music Awards, 14 American Music Awards, 7 People's Choice Awards, and 26 Academy of Country Music Awards. Please join me in welcoming Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
Thank you so much, John. That was quite an introduction. Thank you. I'm so excited. This is thrilling for us to be a part of this extraordinary experience for this limited time. The Venetian has just offered, they're opened the doors here and welcomed us in such a gracious way. And we're creating a show that is going to be remarkable for our fans, but as I'm here today and backstage and we're preparing to come out, I feel like it's going to be one of the most remarkable experiences for us as well. We're truly excited, and thank you so much for being here.
Faith Hill, along with her husband Tim McGraw, has been on a world-trotting, whirlwind, worldwide tour. And the Soul to Soul tour has been one of the biggest in country music history.
You can see us in arenas and stadiums and outdoor venues and all that stuff, but just for us, we wanted to do something really cool in here, and it's been just as cool for us as hopefully it's been for the audience.
Yeah, it really has. It's been fun.
Over the next few years, Faith kept up her frantic pace by releasing the CD Cry in 2002, which sold more than 4 million albums worldwide. In 2006, Faith and her husband Tim McGraw began the Soul to Soul tour. The tour became the highest-grossing country music tour ever, with a gross of $90 million. In 2007, Faith Hill took over as the voice of the NFL on NBC's Sunday Night Football by singing the theme song. On February 1st, 2009, Hill performed America the Beautiful at the Super Bowl 43 pregame show.
ABC TV has long had Monday Night Football, and Hank Williams Jr. famously sang a intro song for Monday Night Football. But when NBC television took on Sunday Night Football, they wanted to come with somebody just as formidable and just as recognizable as Hank Williams Jr., and they did with Faith Hill.
Does your missus let you watch football all day on a Sunday and Saturday?
She does, yeah, she does, and she'll even watch it with me on occasion.
Really?
So yeah,
How do you find
she likes football too.
How do you find a woman like that?
I'm very lucky.
Yeah, you are. Any advice for men out there looking for a football-loving missus?
Yeah, stay away from mine.
On September 17th, 2012, Hill debuted the song Illusion at the CMA Music Festival. Despite her very busy life, Faith has still managed to have an acting career, release fragrances, as well as give of her time and money to charity organizations.
But Faith Hill clearly also has heart. She's very active in several different charities, and she doesn't preach it. She doesn't sell that. She doesn't say, look at all the good I do in the world. She just does it. And that speaks volumes.
I think because of cancer has touched everyone's life, and us in particular. I mean, my father died of cancer, and my mother had cancer at an early age when I was very young, and survived. And I grew up with a house full of women, my mom and my two sisters, and I live in a house full of women now with my wife and my 3 daughters. And awareness, early detection, all those things are very important to us. And a lot of people do a lot more work than we do. But we're lucky that we have a position, that we have a podium that we can put a face on it and bring attention to it. And that's what we're here to do, and that's what it's all about. For a celebrity, I guess, in a position that we're in to get these kind of awards.
Is this your first joint award?
That's non-music related, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And what does that mean to you to share this with Tim?
Oh, yeah.
Well, because we've gone through this together as a family, and it was difficult to get the news of Tug, and it was difficult to watch him fight, for the last 6 months of his life. So from that came a great deal of knowledge and dedication towards cancer research, quality of life, and we do that together. So anything you can do together, it's good.
Even though Faith has reached megastardom, she's still the girl next door, ambitious and driven as ever.
One of the things I write about in my books is finding that family-work balance. It is so hard to do that, which is why it's so admirable and so rewarding when we see people who have achieved that balance. Because let's be honest, when you're chasing your dreams, regardless of how big or small they may seem, there are a lot of things that get pushed to the side. And to make sure that your family is not one of those things that gets pushed to the side is a real accomplishment and a real medal of honor for people that can do that. Faith has managed to achieve incredible success doing what she always wanted to do, but even more importantly, achieve success as a mother and a wife. And when it all comes down to it, when the crowds have left the concert venue, when people stop downloading your music, when nobody's going to see the movies or the TV shows that you're in, what matters is your kids, what matters is your family, and what matters is love. And to know that you've never abandoned that you've never put that second in your life, is the greatest success story a person could ask for.
Oh, she better be there.
Oh,
yeah,
me?
Yeah, she better be there.
Oh, he's going to have to let me do something. Maybe I'll bring out his microphone or...
Yeah, right.
or your guitar. Or you can give me your guitar. I've never gotten one of your guitars. That would be fun.
You kept my guitar all the time, though.
Reba McEntire was born on March 28, 1955 in Kiowa, Oklahoma, to the parents of Jacqueline and Clark McEntire. Reba began her career while still a teenager singing in her high school band and on local radio. She was heavily influenced by the country music of Bob Willis, Merle Haggard, Dolly Parton, Barbara Mandrell, and Patsy Cline.
The quintessential success story in country music is Reba McEntire. You can see and you can hear and you can feel the influences of some of the greats, of Loretta Lynn, of Barbara Mandrell, the grit of Merle Haggard, the down-home, dirt on your feet, banjo on the front porch, mama with the fiddle country music that is still a thread in Reba's voice and in her music today. She is classic country. And I think a lot of people forget that. I think a lot of people forget that Reba's been around since the 70s. I mean, we can't even begin to count on all of our toes and fingers the number of hits she's had, the years she's been with us. Same could be said for people like George Strait. You know, I had this conversation the other day about, they're like, well, George Strait put out a double CD, 50 number one hits. That was 10 years ago that came out. There have been more. Same with Reba. Everything she does goes right to the top because people love the classics.